Well, hello once again, everybody. I thought that I would actually start a new segment. So this is going to be the first episode, and it's just covering any new interesting gear, guitar-related gear, guitars, etc. Then I'll kind of talk about why I think that it's worth your time or my time, what you might use it for, etc., etc. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first thing that I saw recently was this KMA machines. It's a GEMINUS stereo true double tracker. So basically what we have here is you can get the sound of double tracking your guitars with a pedal. I've seen other units try to do this in the past, and I don't think that they've really pulled it off too well. This seems pretty promising, though. So it's got, stereo and mono. We've got AI, so they're employing some AI-driven double tracker technology. So that's definitely going to assist with that, because it probably can make little micro adjustments to make it slightly imperfect. That way that it sounds truly like double tracking. And again, it's a pedal, so you can just plug it in and use it. It's really going to be cool, too, just for live stuff. Bands, especially, would probably find this to be useful. Let's see, what else do we have here? Yeah, so there's some videos that they've posted where you can check this out. Yeah, I would probably want to check it out myself too, actually. So, what do we have? Main features: proprietary doubler technology with knob. That's nice for the stereo field, stereo or mono. Flexible signal routing, time, pitch, and level controls. Nice. It's a relatively small pedal. It's got true bypass. Soft switching. Yeah, not too shabby, if I may say so myself. So next up, we have this Broadcaster 1950s style set Telecaster pickup set, which is being spearheaded by Joe Bonamassa, I guess. It's kind of, I think these kinds of things sometimes it's kind of irrelevant who's promoting it as much as what the product itself is promoting. It's just kind of happens to be he's the guy that coalesced as the PR man for it. But yeah, probably, I guess, Fender Custom Shop. Oh no, Seymour Duncan, my bad. Custom Shop. Raw steel bottom plates. I think in a Telecaster set, the steel plates that go in are very, very important. A lot of people kind of overlook that, but that's kind of where the sound comes from. It increases the magnetic field. But, it's probably going to have a more raw sound, this pickup set. I don't know if they're overwound or not. I don't really know too much of the specifics of the 50s pickup winding. Yep. Like a Broadcaster tele set, I would be interested in trying these in something to see what kind of tone they yield. And then I guess they have, like, after they sell out 250 limited edition, then they're gonna offer them as a built to order model or something. So that would be interesting to take note of. Next up, we have this Brickhouse Toneworks. They're like a silent P90 pickup that's, I guess, stacked vertically that way, and but they sound kind of like a true P90 pickup. But they're in humbucker size housing. So again, I'm a big proponent of single coil pickups when I can get them in a guitar that sounds good. And everything is going the way I like with the playability. But for me, the single coil sound is just more flexible. It has there's a lot of different reasons why I like it. I've expounded on this endlessly in various videos. But you get the legendary tone of a P90 in a humbucker sized housing. Alinco 5 magnets, and they even kind of like recommend what little capacitors you should use, which is pretty cool. Ultra quiet. Here's the readings, the output for the bridge and the neck. Not too much of a variation there. So I'm thinking that the neck probably has a good amount of output. These are kind of like not quite vintage output resistances. So, but of course it's way, way above a normal single coil. So I'm thinking, you know, they're going to be like a really beefed up, almost tele sounding thing, which would be really cool. Yeah, and then you can, you know, 170 each or 340 for the set. Kind of pricey, but you know, you get what you pay for, I guess. Oh, Seymour Duncan also has a similar set that I'm interested, called the Fat Cat. And I saw this too. So everybody's seen like the cover of Blow by Blow or any of those old Jeff Beck videos where he's got this black looking oxblood Les Paul, you know, which has become kind of iconic. But you know, I guess they're finally, Epiphone is like releasing kind of a copy of that, so you can get one yourself, which is pretty cool. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a stop bar bridge tailpiece combo with no tune-o-matic in it, so the adjustment there might be kind of hit or miss depending on how this thing is set up with the neck angle and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're into that retro look, and just, you know, it's a good showpiece, I guess, just to have. Maybe some people just collect guitars and they like having some rock history looking instruments laying around. And next up we have the Koch amps. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's I believe they're somewhere over in Europe. We'll get to that in a minute, but it's like a little, I guess, 112 combo tube amp. But again, it's got some little modern innovations going on with it. So, you know, just a little tube amp, the creamy tube amps that sounds that you would want, you know, especially overdriven, I suppose. But it has a built-in switchable power output. So, you know, you can use it for recording, but also for live gigs. So it's got like a little power switch here. You can see like off and on. So this would be like the cab. You know, you want to plug it into a PA or something like that. You know, or for recording. So I guess you could actually change the output so you get it to overdrive at a lower volume. So that's pretty cool. So they're saying tight low ends, smooth mids, and articulate highs. Sounds pretty great. But, you know, you're getting clean sparkle to a gritty overdrive. So it might be an excellent pedal platform too. And I'm into the idea of amps like this. I actually wish somebody would, in addition to having an output like this with the recording or PA selection switch or option output, to put a USB out here too. That way you could just plug it in and use it as an interface, because it shouldn't be that hard to put a little digital interface connection that goes into a computer so you get direct recording, you know. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. And that brings us to this Charvel guitar that I saw. It's pretty interesting, you know, so like a Southern California original thing here, you know. Charvel guitars, a lot of the players that I've listened to over the years have played these, including, you know, Van Halen, or I believe Greg Howe or Richie Codson, any of these types of players. They're kind of like a LA studio guitar, or at least they used to be. But a lot of the shredders play these and whatnot too. But this one has got the Evertune bridge built into it, you know. So I guess they're moving on to like like production model stuff with evertune bridges, which is really really cool. I've not played on an evertune bridge yet, but I'm totally into the idea of what that offers. I've heard people say maybe that they have a good tone overall too, and again, like playing Telecasters for so many years, I kind of feel like if you have a giant block of metal connected to the guitar where your strings are tuned and also connect to the guitar, it's only going to improve your tone. And compare like a tele sound with like a Strat, which is floating. Generally, the tele's a little bit thicker, quite a bit thicker than the Strat. Probably because of that. I mean, a lot of it has to do with the pickups too. But anyway, yeah. So this was like an HH double humbucker style. The whole idea that it's not going to go out of tune is pretty appealing. Like, playing live gigs occasionally, I always worry about that, and I check it out maybe at least maybe twice at the very very least, like once in the middle of the set or something like that. But this would take care of your problem, right? So anybody that's touring, you definitely want to pick up one of those. Seems everything else is pretty. Oh, look, it's got graphite rods, I guess, in the neck too. Oh, that's an actually awesome addition. So having some carbon fiber or graphite rods, for touring, and one day you're in like the northern states up there where it snows all the time, and then next year down here in New Mexico where it's 105 degrees every day. Excellent thing to have with the bridge too. Yeah. So yeah, they're kind of built for speed and precision. Kind of this guitar reminds me of what Scott Henderson used to play in the '80s during the Tribal Tech days. The Ibanez, looks like a pretty flat fingerboard too. Seymour Duncan pickups. So the Nazgul humbucker, which is more of a metal thing, and then the sentient humbucker in the neck. Yeah, I could see some metal people definitely being interested in that. This thing is just like got a bunch of little additions, and then it's right under $2,000 too. Not bad. I saw this, Richie. I just mentioned Richie Codson, but one of my favorite players down throughout the decades here. Known for his signature Telecaster, but now they're coming out with a signature Strat, so that's kind of interesting. I'm not really much of a Strat player, but the idea of I'm kind of curious to see what he's added to this thing to make it different. Yeah, so Richie's kind of big in Japan too. Maybe a lot of people over here in the West are not aware so much like they used to be. I actually became aware of him through the Greg Howe and Richie Codson album they did. They did, I think, one, maybe two albums together. Really, really cool stuff. Yeah. So let's look at the specs. So it's like, they share a lot of the same DNA. Looks like chunky C neck profile, jumbo frets, 12-inch radius. Kind of reminds me of an Yngwie kind of a thing. I'm seeing some sort of little thing on the pickups, so probably they're noiseless or something like that. Let's see here. Hardware. It's vintage style. Yeah, the vintage style on saddles on a Strat seem to be pretty cool. I wouldn't say that on a Tele, but they seem to work pretty good on a Strat. I did not see anything about the pickups. It's kind of odd that we're not taught. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right there. Marzio custom single coils with typical Strat wiring and a master volume plus 2 tone controls 5-way. Huh, it must just say Marzio or something. I thought maybe it was like a noiseless type thing. Yeah, and then that's a little over 2,000 on that one. Lastly, we got this Cornerstone Imperium V2 dual overdrive. So, you know, a lot of the lead sounds we hear, people don't realize are actually composed of 2 different overdrives sometimes, like amp plus pedal distortion, or etc., etc., or like there's dual amp stacking going on. This is pretty interesting though. So it's got 2 different drive circuits, Gladio and Antique. You know, and then another cool thing, flexible routing and 2 different overdrive voices. So it's an Italian-made pedal with the Gladio thing. That's kind of an odd thing to name it. I wonder why they did that. I guess East Berlin and West Berlin, or you know, East Germany, West Germany. Very clever. Yeah, but yeah, that's, apparently they make more dual overdrive pedals. They have another one called Coliseum. So it's kind of their specialty, I suppose. Oh, and you can, and this is also really cool. So you can blend your clean sound into your dry signal into the overdrive too. Now that is really cool. That reminds me of, I can't remember what Greg Howe was using these amps for a while. Cornford or something like that. I don't remember what they're called exactly, but one of these amps, these custom amp head makers, tube amp companies, they make these same kind of deal. The signal naturally blends in the clean with the dirt, so you get this this really stacked kind of pristine sound where you can play a chord with distortion and you pretty much hear every note, and it doesn't mush together the same way. It's very detailed. Yeah, let's see what else we got. So total command over dynamics and clarity. This kind of reminds me of like some kind of a Dumble, like a Alexander Dumble type thing that's happening. And I would definitely be interested in trying this out myself too. Let's see what else we got. So the Gladio circuit has a clean control that allows you to add that. So on one side. And then the Antique features a presence control that shapes the high frequency. I like this a lot because it reminds me of, I've always used dual amp channel setups, maybe a lot of the time digitally. So this is kind of like in a pedal form, being able to do that. I want to see though what the, is that a compression thing? It's got like a little compressor circuit. Stacking switch. Oh, you can change the order of the 2 sides. Wow. And you can add a little a little bit of compression. This is really, really cool. I like that a lot. Just a little compression to keep everything leveled properly. Damn. Definitely interested in that. Flexibility, 4 connections. Wow. So you can, I guess it's got like an input output signal chain thing too, so that you could add additional modulation effects or something between the 2 channels. Definitely impressive, and it's somewhere probably $300 to $400. Not bad. I wish they would show me an image of the output, like what that looks like. Looks like it's got 4 plugs on it though. Yeah. So definitely definitely keep your eyes out for this one, the Imperium. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this. Definitely remember to like and subscribe, and depending on how many views this particular video gets, I'll end up doing these on a maybe semi-daily basis, or as new gear arrives and I think something is interesting that's worth talking about. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.